Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out a brand new Commonwealth weapon release, and it's going to be another New Vegas one. I know some of you think we're on the New Vegas train, racing to complete every New Vegas gun, and that's not really the truth. We're not trying to do every gun from New Vegas. We just kind of happen to fall into it. You see, some people think that we have some sort of grand scheme or plan and how we decide to do things. That's not true at all. The second we release a mod, we decide what do we want to do next, and it kind of just fits into theme. Sometimes we stick into like a retro style, sometimes we start doing westerny guns, and right now we're just looking at the New Vegas guns and thinking about how much we love them. And this time we're talking about one of the greats. That's right, we're checking out the Browning High Power, known as the 9mm pistol in-game from Fallout New Vegas, recreated by myself and Pig. While Alex is busy with college and working on another project that we have going, this is something that I wanted to do on my own as a little side project. Now, the biggest question that is asked about this mod is why bother when there's so many Browning high powers in existence? Why would I ever make such a thing, and why should anybody ever download it? Well, the answer is I made it because I wanted to. Some people seem to forget that modding is a hobby. Yes, I'm fortunate enough to be able to post this here on YouTube and talk about the cool stuff I'm doing. Believe me, it's a great thing, and I'm so happy that I get to do that. But I also just like doing it. It's fun. And I really wanted to make a Browning high power, just like I really want to make a 1911. Now, I've put off both of these projects because there have been so many mods, but it's been quite some time since we've seen a high power. Yes, I know Dia just released one. That was not known until it was too late. And I actually kind of helped Dia with that one, so that's kind of funny. Also, the 1911, there's so many 1911 mods, and I feel like they get dropped all the time, but one day, maybe we will. It's one of my favorite guns, and so is the high power, and that's why I want to make them myself, just as a modeling practice. It's something that's fun to do, and I get to put my own unique twist on the mod. So when it comes to downloading this thing, you get to choose. Nobody's making you do anything. Pick the Browning high power that you like the best, whether it's mine, or Deadpool's, or Dia's, or Alex's. There's so many options, and you should pick the one that suits you best. But I will be talking about mine and showing off everything that it has to offer to help you make that decision. So, ours is going to have custom animations, and when I say custom, I mean custom because it's not going to reuse any animations. They are actually going to be edited and fully updated by Mac. When this first came out, it was using a set by Hitman. That has since been overhauled by Mac, something we wanted to have by launch, but wasn't. So some people did complain about how there was finger clipping in third person and a couple of other things. That is all done away with. Now, it is a wonderful, wonderful anim set that reminds me a lot of the animations from New Vegas, just upgraded a little bit to the modern day. It is going to be one-handed in hip fire, just like New Vegas, but when you go to aim down sights, you're going to snap your second hand there for a more stable grip, which I love completely. It also has completely remade sprinting and grenade throwing animations, and I believe the iron sight animations are different as well. Maybe even hip fire. We told Mac only to do a couple of things to fix it up, but I think he went a little hog wild and did a whole bunch of stuff. So we ended up with an animation set that I am very, very happy with, and I may get to reuse in the future for more pistols of this shape and size. Of course, all of the models and textures are completely custom for this mod, from the receiver down to the muzzles. Every single thing is going to be brand new, as well as brand new uniques that you can find in this mod. As usual, we're tackling a classic New Vegas weapon, so people are going to ask, I already know, where's Maria? I want Maria. Maria's in New Vegas and we're in Boston, so I'm sorry it's not going to be here. If you would like a mod that adds Maria, there are plenty. You can go download Deadpool's and it's right there, I'm pretty sure, along with some other similar uniques. Ours are going to go a different route. We're going to have some other uniques to explore the other options for a Browning high power based on some stuff we've seen in real life that we think is really cool. That being said, there are some parts in this that can get you somewhere close to Maria if you like that aesthetic, but it won't be that gun specifically. You can put on some pearl grips, you can put on silver, and while there isn't technically a silver engraved version of the slide, there is a gold engraved version. You could, theoretically, if you have the know-how, make a patch for yourself that takes the normal map from the gold slide and throw it onto the silver slide to make a silver engraved slide with pearl grips that will look similar to Maria without the actual Saint Maria grips. As usual, this mod is also going to be added to the leveled list, so any of the regular versions of the pistol will be found on the Brotherhood of Steel Scribes, Raiders, Gunners, Railroad Agents, and purchasable from vendors after level 6. This is a pretty early game weapon. Now, this mod does come in two different versions, the munitions version and the vanilla version. We've been trying to get out two versions for every mod, so the vanilla is going to come in probably 38, I think is what Pig put it in. But the intended release is, of course, the munitions version, which comes in 9mm, like the 9mm pistol should be. It'd be really funny if you downloaded the 9mm pistol that we named the 9mm pistol and used it in 38. In my head, that's a really funny scenario, but you can do it if that's what you want. If you don't want munitions and you want to use vanilla ammos, it is completely available. I'm unsure if he renamed it, so I really think it's funny if it's still called the 9mm pistol. Now, I think that covers most of everything important for the basic overview. We've got all of the attachments, wonderful models and textures, animations, loading screens. Didn't talk about that, but those exist, as well as uniques and levelless integration. Let's go ahead and hop in-game and show off some of these finer details. Showcase the animations, the new ones, which are not available in the animation preview. I should probably make a new one of those. As well as all of the attachments available, as usual, and see how you guys like this thing. Alright, I almost forgot we do need to also check out stats before we get into animations and all of that. This thing's got a base damage of about 17, comes in 9mm in its intended variant, but probably 38 in the vanilla file. Fire rate of 55 and semi-automatic, and accuracy of 60, a weight of 2.8 pounds, and a value of 48 caps. And for some reason, this variant is known as the long 9mm pistol because we do have a snub nose barrel, which is probably going to make it just 9mm pistol. That's something I might want to change in the INNR to make this the just 9mm pistol. And maybe the snub could either have no name change or maybe change it to short 9mm pistol. Either way, this is a good look at what this gun actually looks like here. And I gotta say, I am pretty happy with myself. I like this model quite a lot. I think it's a pretty dang good one. Now then, let's go ahead and talk about animations, and for once, the New Vegas HUD actually makes quite a bit of sense, because this just feels right. Now, something about the animations. Normally, I'm actually not a fan of the one-handed pistol animations. There was like a year or two in modding where it seemed to be anything everybody wanted was just one-handed pistol animations for every pistol mod. But this time around, despite me not normally liking it, I actually quite like what we ended up with. The original anim set we used wasn't my favorite in the world. It felt a little too flimsy to be aiming a pistol one-handed like that, but this time, we have the pistol one-handed in hip fire, just like it was in New Vegas. And when you aim, you pull up your second hand, just like in New Vegas, for a much more sturdy grip that makes a lot more sense to me, and allows for some really cool kill moves with hip firing one-handed. Gonna go ahead and remove our noisy guests in the distance there so we can listen to the wonderful custom sounds and preview these brand new animations. As we can see, wonderful stuff. I don't think the reloads changed too much from Hitman's original set, but Mac did overhaul just about everything else, and now, no more finger clipping through the trigger guard. We're always trying to improve and make things better, and believe me, that's something we didn't want to have for people who were annoyed by it, because guess what? We're annoyed by it too. Those of you who were upset about the trigger clipping, it's fixed. It's there. It's wonderful. So there's a lot of comments saying they'll download this when it's there. Well, it's there. Whether or not you want to download it is up to you, but it is fixed. It's a wonderful, wonderful improvement. Like I said, we also have some more custom things like melee, grenade throwing, should have realized what my grenade throw would be, and sprinting, I believe, is different as well. I don't think this is how it was in the original set, though I could be wrong. Either way, that's a look at everything you'll be getting with this pistol. Let's go ahead and check out the uniques. Alright, so lately we've been trying only to do one unique per mod, but this time around we just had some good ideas that were really, really cool, and you'll see why they're so cool in the weapons workbench section, because you can mix and match some parts from the uniques to make them really fun and really different. So, here we have Skinny's side piece. Never have we done a unique that ties in with the main game. This is actually going to be a pistol from Skinny Malone in the main quest line. Now, originally I wanted this to be on his inventory, but so as to not break anything and make it incompatible with any other mods, we opted to not place it directly on his inventory, but rather in the vault where you can actually find it. I originally wanted to place it in the Overseer's office where you would find Nick Valentine, but Pig thought it would be a little weird for them to lock up a prisoner with their treasured pistol. So instead, you'll find this thing in Vault 114 next to the check-in terminal. This thing is going to have the Assassin's Legendary effect, so it just makes for a better version of the base pistol. And it's going to come with an all-silver material with a gold hammer and trigger, and I think it's so cool. But you can actually get even more color customization out of this thing if you modify it a bit at the weapons workbench, which I will show off shortly. And then here we have the original unique before we added Skinny's side piece. This is known as Death and Taxes. It is going to be solid gold with an engraved slide, where I played with a new engraving workflow that I think came out pretty nice. It also has pearl grips, silver accents with the barrel, triggers, and magazine. I think this thing is quite cool. You'll also notice that both of the uniques have a slightly different slide from the standard Browning High Power. It's going to have the really funny one with the ladder sight that I think is really, really cool. You can actually see the markings there that we don't need to look at in any further investigation because I totally didn't mess that up. Anyways, this thing has a fun, unique effect where you have a chance to find extra caps on enemies when you kill them with this weapon. I believe it's every time you hit them, it rolls the chance to do putting caps in their inventory, so the more shots on a target, the more caps you'll find. Though, don't try to farm that because you'll probably end up spending more money on ammo than you will on caps returned. Either way, it's a pretty fun one, and if you want to get your hands on this thing, it is found in a safe at the Bridgeway Trust. It is a bank near the Backstreet Apparel, where there are a handful of vaults, or rather, safety deposit boxes inside of a vault, and this is in one of them. Good luck. Now then, let's go ahead and talk about the attachments over at the weapons workbench. I can't wait to get to add these to my wall. Every time we finish up a mod completely through the mod and the video, I get to add it to our wonderful display back here. So, let's go ahead and start off with the standard version of the pistol, but I will be showing off the uniques as well because they actually have some other things going on that you wouldn't expect. So, for the standard one, we have the regular receiver all the way up through advanced. Nothing too crazy there. But for slides, we have a snub slide, a light version of the snub slide, which will be silver, allowing you to have two-tone for the gun. There are light versions of every slide, which will have a trade-off of range for weight, but you get that awesome silver two-tone, which is really, really fun. So there is a standard and light version of the regular slide length, as well as a long slide length, which has a barrel extension there, and the sharpshooter slide, which has that slightly different set of iron sights if you're looking for something pretty cool. I really, really like the two-tone. Typically when you see a two-tone Browning High Power, it's the frame that's silver with a black slide, but this is really cool. But don't worry, you'll be able to do the other one too. For grips, we have the option for standard wooden grip, a taped grip for some more comfort. Well, kind of, because we also have the comfort grip, which is made of rubber, has some nice striations in the side. We also have the sharpshooter's grip, which is a fully wrapped plastic grip. And then we have Staghorn if you're looking to be a bit more stylish, and Pearl as well. And the Pearl is a little bit shinier in-game. This is just a preview menu where the lighting is a little funky. Then we have magazines. We have the standard mag, quick eject, extended quick eject, and then large and large quick eject. And I believe they go in some crazy increments. I think it's like 13, 19, 24. Something crazy like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. For sights, we have the standard iron sights. We have glow sights, just like in New Vegas. We've got the micro set of optics that mount directly onto the slide. But we also have a laser sight, which mounts onto the trigger here, and that will be our functional laser sight, where you actually aim with the laser, sort of Resident Evil style. Then we have a full-size dot, hollow, and reflex sight, which are going to be mounted on a similar mount to the one in New Vegas. So we get to bring that back as well, although I think theirs was mounted to the other side. And then we have a short scope and a medium scope, which is pretty similar to the scope, I think, from New Vegas as well. So you could have a pretty similar build to something you could run in that game. And then for muzzles, we have the option for no muzzle, a compensator, a muzzle brake, a makeshift suppressor out of a Nuka-Cola can, and a regular suppressor, which looks quite cool. I'm pretty happy with this gun, I have to say. But let's check out something like Skinny's pistol. There it is. So Skinny's pistol comes with a custom receiver, which is what gives you the silver look on bottom. Now, we opted to do it this way instead of a global, is because that allows you to get the two tones that you want still. If you want to have, say, a silver slide with the black lower, which is something you could do on the regular gun, but that applies more on the next unique. But what's really cool is you can actually change out the slide as well on this guy to something a little bit more regular for that two-tone silver on bottom, black on top, which just looks so cool. And I actually have some variants set up like that. Yeah, this guy right here looks fantastic. This is a way that I would run this gun for sure. But the same is also true on Death and Taxes. And it's a little bit more applicable here because now you can do black with a gold slide, which is not available on any other gun. You can stay fully gold if you want to, like the original gun was intended, but you can change out the slide for the advanced receiver here if you'd like to have two-tone, and that's pretty cool. But the two-tone also works in reverse. If you change out the slide, you can have a black slide on top with the gold frame, or even silver on top with the gold frame, which is also kind of cool. That is a pretty crazy combo, if you ask me. So yeah, lots of fun to be had with the many different options you can combine with this thing. You can make some pretty interesting combinations, and to be honest, I'd love to see yours. If you're already in the Discord, go ahead and post some pictures. I'd be very curious to see what you guys come up with, knowing that you can mix and match these parts in ways that allow you to do some pretty cool and unique stuff. Can't wait. But I think that covers just about everything in this video. I hope I didn't miss anything about the mod, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be linked down in the description below if you haven't checked it out already. I have no idea about an Xbox port because we don't handle those. We usually have somebody else ask us if they can do it, and that is completely allowed, so hopefully it comes to Xbox at some point if it isn't there already. But if you want it on PC, it is linked again down in the description. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider dropping the mod an endorsement, or consider dropping the video a like if you like the video as well. With that, if you'd like to support me directly, a little bit more than that, you can also check me out on Patreon, but of course that's completely optional, just there for people who wish to do so. Once again, I hope you guys enjoy this mod, have a bunch of fun with it, show off some cool combinations anywhere that you can, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!